Season 3 is coming at breakneck speed. The first teasers are dropping in absolute bunches, and from the looks of it, the apocalypse is about to hit the island hard. Usually, the community already has some leaks or a general idea about the upcoming theme, but right now, it's a total mystery. Yet, just as people started cooking up wild theories, one specific breakdown began gaining serious traction. First things first, we need to talk about mini-seasons. Yeah, if you thought they were over, think again. Insiders report that Epic Games has a mini-season planned that will take place in Chapter 7. This is all because The Simpsons mini-season in Chapter 6 completely blew the developers away, so much so that we should expect another month-long season in this chapter. As a reminder, there were previous rumors that Epic Games had abandoned mini-seasons altogether, but apparently, Disney has cooked something up. And I am almost 100% sure that Disney is the mastermind behind these mini-seasons. But let's get back to the rumors about the next season. Some details were dropped by Epic Games insiders, specifically Chris, who is famously close with the community. My initial theories regarding the theme of Season 3 were connected to a symbiote season, which was supported by past leaks we saw before the start of Chapter 7. There were specific rumors that it would be a Marvel mini-season. This would make a ton of sense right now, considering we just talked about how there will indeed be a mini-season in Chapter 7. If they place it right after the massive event happening in 2 weeks, and I want to assure you, this will be one of the most significant events in the history of the game. And if anything on the scale of the Big Bang event happens, you can be sure the next season will likely be a mini-season. After all, once Voyager collects the 0 point, it's hard to even imagine what will happen and whether the island will continue to exist at all. Similarly, we previously heard rumors that starting from Season 3, we would be on an entirely different map, or that every single season would feature a new map. While that's probably a less likely scenario, imagine if during the event, Voyager collects the 0 point and some kind of reality explosion occurs, which the developers are hinting at. Then, a next season on a different map, like that same mini-season, is completely realistic. And is a symbiote season possible? We could easily be transported to some other dimension, just like in The Simpsons season. But that's if we're talking about a mini-season that's supposed to be connected to Marvel somehow. Meanwhile, regarding Season 3, more and more rumors are popping up that it will be tied to some kind of tropical theme. Let me say right off the bat that almost half of these rumors and theories are completely pulled out of thin air, and I don't really agree with them. For example, the devs post an emoji on Twitter, and people start building entire theories around it. Come on, since when do we make guesses about the next season, based purely on emoji comments from the devs? Nevertheless, the hype started building when Hypex shared a theory originating from King, who noticed interesting patterns in Epic staff tweets and map changes. First, Hypex pointed out that recent survey skins feature heavy tropical vibes. Honestly, I find the skin argument a bit weak. Just look at our speculations before Season 2. There was a huge number of skins tied to Norse mythology, and a bunch of them just ended up dropping in the item shop. Therefore, I wouldn't trust these confirmations 100%. At this point, survey skin concepts mean almost nothing. However, things get interesting with the leaked Disney collaboration bringing Stitch as a sidekick. Since Lilo and Stitch is set on a tropical island, adding him to a jungle-themed battle pass is a great marketing move. The real breakthrough comes from hidden teasers posted by Chris from Epic Games. He tweeted 3 emojis: gold stars, fire, and an explosion. Oddly, he attached a GIF from the summer update of the Wild season, which was entirely jungle-themed. Chris later hosted custom games for subscribers using the matchmaking code Goldfire, matching his first 2 emojis perfectly. If Goldfire sounds familiar, look back at the current Season 2 launch trailer. It showcased key characters trapped inside an ice prison. At the time I thought it was random, but it featured Aurelia, representing gold, and the prisoner, representing fire. This implies both characters will take center stage in Season 3, much like the Ice King's return, and while Aurelia had some development during the Wild storyline, the prisoner has never received proper lore. To round things out, Ted Timmons recently tweeted that the season would end with a bang, with an explosion. Another employee liked a tweet explicitly teasing a volcano. So, we are looking at a tropical jungle season featuring Aurelia, the prisoner, and an active volcano. This ties directly into the map. Currently, a massive portion of the Ice King's castle is completely inaccessible in Battle Royale, but fully explorable in creative mode. In that hidden section, there is a mysterious figure trapped inside a pillar. If the prisoner awakens before Season 3, his fire powers could melt the ice, exposing this character as a live teaser. We saw a similar transition in Chapter 4, Season 2, when earthquakes and massive roots tore through Megacity right before the jungle biome arrived. Game files already confirmed that upcoming earthquakes around the center of the map will release 0-point energy. This means we could see a repeat scenario where tectonic shifts cause a massive volcano to erupt from the ground. Granted, the current storyline is focusing heavily on the return of the 0-point rather than a jungle landscape, which makes the transition a bit confusing. The finer details are still a bit blurry, but official teasers are coming, and the finale event and conclusion of this season are about to happen. What will happen during the event? Well, that's a great question. Let's take a look at how we got here. After the Voyager dipped from the OG island, it's safe to say he never found the shard he was looking for over there. But we already know that OG has its own 0-point dimension, which we got teleported to during the Season 5 mini-event. If my theory holds up, there could literally be 2 0-points existing in Fortnite right now. One in the present day, on the Golden Coast, which the Dark Voyager is trying to patch up using the shards. The other is tucked away in the OG vault. And the kicker? Having them this close to each other could trigger anomalies and paradoxes way gnarlier than anything we saw before. But I'll dive deeper into that on later, so if you're hooked, stick around. One of those anomalies is the Elite's stronghold. It looks like Zadie isn't just recruiting the biggest badasses from across the multiverse, she's also a massive hoarder. Inside the Elite's stronghold, you can spot an imagined order drill, and even cube ore. Add a 0-point shard to that laundry list, and suddenly the Dark Voyager is making a beeline straight there to snatch it. Honestly, it looks like this place used to be an old Imagine Order base. At first glance, it just looks like a total lore Easter eggs. But the Elites are actually putting all this junk to work. An excavation drill, cube ore to craft new weapons. I have a gut feeling Zadie knows exactly what she's doing. This collection is the key to something way bigger. While we're still on the topic of the OG mode, let's jump back to the whole 2 0-points thing and break down what kind of chaos could pop off from them existing at the same time. First off, the OG mode is already acting insanely unstable. Red rifts, red cubes, all of this is highly volatile energy that first showed up right here in OG. There's a solid chance this power is directly tied to the second, one, and only 0-point. Technically, this 0-point shouldn't even exist, because the OG dimension itself is essentially a massive glitch in the Matrix, meaning the energy it's pumping out is glitchy too. What's crazy is that back in Season 5, we literally went inside the 0-point dimension, which strongly hints that this OG 0-point is sitting in the vault right now. And don't forget, the red cube was in that dimension too. Whether it was trying to corrupt the place with its energy, or activate something, we still don't know for sure. But the fact remains, it was there. And cubes don't just take casual strolls through dimensions for no reason. It's no coincidence that the red cube, which Jonesy summoned during the 0-hour event, wasn't part of the last reality simulation plan. It seems like this is a wild card that literally nobody has a leash on. Not the Voyager, not the last reality, nobody. If the OG vault is hiding an entire corrupted 0-point instead of just a shard, the Voyager is seriously playing with fire. How's this gonna end? Probably terribly. While the Voyager piecing the 0-point back together, the entire vibe of Showdown Season revolves around the beef between the Foundation and the Ice King. But why do these two even have so much bad blood? With the Foundation, it's obvious. The Rock got put on ice by the King, which took him off the board for a long time. It makes total sense why he's ready to throw hands. But the Ice King's side of things is what's keeping me up at night. According to Jones, the Ice King is straight up obsessed with the Foundation. Jones thinks this tunnel vision is super sus, almost like someone explicitly sicked the Ice King on him. Someone like, say, the Dark Voyager? Even though the Voyager and the Ice King have an alliance on paper, the cube-headed dude could totally leave the Ice Boy out to dry, or vice versa. If you actually pay attention to Lady Windfrost's song from the Battle Pass, she spills the tea. The Voyager made a deal with the Ice King, where the King takes out the Foundation, And in return, the Voyager helps the King restore the elemental balance of the universe, which is exactly what the original Ice King was trying to do. But here's the catch. In her song, Windfrost drops massive hints that the Voyager is totally playing him, and behind all the smoke and mirrors, he's only looking out for himself. This elf girl seems to be trying to knock some sense into her king and convince him to rip up the contract with the Voyager. With the plot making an absolutely insane comeback this chapter, it's been a hot minute since we checked in on Dr. Sloan. Turns out she's alive and well. Recently, Zadie managed to ping her signal and confirmed it. The former director of the Imagined Order is cooking up something massive, though we don't know exactly what yet. Fun fact, Zadie actually debated trying to recruit Sloan to the elites, but ultimately decided it was way too risky. In her eyes, bringing the boss into their base could seriously throw a wrench in her own master plans. Long story short, the return of Sloan is just a matter of time now. But Dr. Sloan isn't the only OG heavy hitter gearing up for a comeback. There's another massive player on the horizon. Right now, at the center of the island, 4 shards are already put together, meaning there are only 3 left. Those last 3 are scattered across the island, 1 at the Sanctuary, 1 at Squibbly Shores, and 1 belonging to the Ice King. Thanks to the latest data mining, we know exactly how this plays out. The Dark Voyager is going to grab them and fuse them at the center of the island. First, he's targeting the Sanctuary shard. He's going to extract it just like the others. But unfortunately, we won't get a crazy animation here. He's just going to teleport straight to the Sanctuary, grab the shard, and teleport back to the center to lock it in. Next up is the Squibbly Shores shard. Once he brings that one back to the center, he'll be sitting on 6 assembled pieces, leaving just 1 final component, which logically belongs to the Ice King. During the actual live event, we're going to witness the Dark Voyager attempting to seize that final Ice King shard right in the center of the map. And that's where things get interesting, because the event countdowns have been added to the files. Notice I said countdowns, plural, because there isn't just 1, there are 2. This is a total first in Fortnite history. Why 2? It actually depends on the faction you locked in at the start of the season. If you sided with the Ice King, your countdown is going to appear right above his 0-point shard. But if you're rocking with the Foundation, the timer will pop up over his secret base, which features a massive opening looking directly at the center of the map where the 0-point is held. So if you're Team Ice King, your view and your countdown will look different than if you're Team Foundation. Don't worry though, the event itself remains the same for everyone. The opening moments might feel unique to your faction, but the overall experience is identical. It's just these cool little personalized details, changing based on your allegiance, which is honestly unprecedented for Epic. Meanwhile, the Dark Voyager is getting a terrifying makeover. He's going to reveal a brand new look completely corrupted by the cube, and it looks unusual. We have never had an antagonist this genuinely creepy in Fortnite history. Even the Cube Queen or the Herald didn't look this menacing. This pure dark variant of the Dark Voyager is going to bring straight horror movie vibes to the event. Just to clarify, this isn't a selectable style we're getting for our lockers right away. It's just an NPC model hidden in the files for the event, so don't expect to drop V-Bucks on it just yet. The Dark Voyager's sole mission during the event is to finalize the 0-point and stop us from messing up his plans. That's why right before the event kicks off, the 0-point will be on the absolute brink of completion, radiating an insane amount of energy according to the leaks. Naturally, the event will have its own dedicated playlist. This isn't happening in a standard Battle Royale match, proving once again that this is one of the biggest spectacles Epic has ever pulled off. But how are we going to stop him? We're definitely going to need backup, and luckily the elites are stepping in to help, meaning Zadie, Daigo, and Jules are joining the fight. Jules might actually be our secret weapon here. She's been crafting heavy weaponry all season, so she could easily forge a weapon capable of piercing the Voyager's defenses. On top of that, the Visitor mentioned he's working on a master plan to take him down, which probably involves his signature rocket. It wouldn't be the first time we rigged a rocket to save the day. Look at the Chapter 1 OG finale. Building a rocket designed to smash into the Dark Voyager and blow his plan sky high makes total sense. Then again, Hope explicitly warned us to prepare for Season 3 with a dark twist. The 0-point returns, but under the total control of the Voyager. That's the worst case scenario, but honestly, it's the most logical narrative route. If the Dark Voyager wins the event, he takes the wheel, and Season 3 transitions into something terrifying under his surveillance. Now, we know the paradigm passed away during the Zero Fusion event. So, remember back during the mech event when everyone was guessing who was piloting the robot? It couldn't have been the Paradigm since she's been out of the picture for chapters. The only person who could have jumped into that cockpit to save us is Singularity. The mech is going to play a massive role in this finale, with Singularity piloting it to trade blows with the Dark Voyager's ship. It's the ultimate audition for her to officially join the Seven. To top it all off, data miners confirmed we are getting a mid-event cinematic, very similar to the OG finale. We're going to get a high-production cinematic showing the Dark Voyager trading blows with the Seven or dodging the massive fists of the mech. With all these puzzle pieces coming together, this transition into Season 3 is going to be insane. We haven't even scraped the surface of what Epic is hiding, which makes sense because the full event script isn't even in the game files yet. Chris from Epic Games recently dropped a hint that we're getting one more massive patch before the season ends. That final update will officially load the event files and start triggering the Season 3 teasers. So before the epilogue of this season, and I guess the climax of the Wool story begins, almost every single day, something crazy happens in Fortnite. No matter which mode you play, events that tie all the story to one same direction is happening. One minute the Voyager randomly crashes the OG mode, then he in reload. The next minute, Save the World characters are randomly popping up on our island. Or a brand new map drops packed with 1,000,000 lore secrets, from Cube Ore all the way to Imagined Order gear. So yeah, the storyline is officially back and feels better than ever. I wonder what you guys think about all of this, and if you are hyped for this event finale. Cause it feels like once the Voyager assembles the 0 point, it leads us straight to Season 3, and some dimension or world that we can't even imagine.